Hello, hello, welcome everyone. So today I'm going to be doing a webinar about back to school. I'm going to make it the shortest webinar possible for two reasons, because I know that your time is very valuable and also because my baby's napping and who knows when it's going to wake up. Okay, so for those of you who don't know me, my name's Hannah. I have been using essential oils for a number of years, and I started to get interested in them because I saw I was starting to read about the negative and toxic effects from certain other chemicals in our beauty products and cleaning products. So I started to just make my own stuff, and then realized that essential oils were an ingredient in all of them. And then I realized that apart from being non-toxic, they have a myriad of incredible health benefits. So that's why I started to get interested in essential oils, because I just want, happy, healthy kids, right? Same as everyone else. Okay, so today I'm just going to share some back to school tips about things that you can help with back to school with focus and with calming and with a bunch of things to help with homework, anything to help with with the transition. And I'm also going to just share 3 main points. So if you can remember 3 main points from what I'm going to share today, then I've done my job. I just have 3 things to communicate with you. I think I'm just going to turn the light on. It started to just get a bit dark. Maybe that's a bit better. Okay. Okay, so essential oils, 3 main points. They are safer, they are cheaper, and they are more effective. Okay, so those are the 3 main points that we're going to talk about today. So they are safer. People are trying them instead of as a different option to medication. So I'm just going to say right off the bat, we are totally not anti-medication. We are not anti-doctors. I'm so thankful that we have access to these things. I just prefer to try a natural solution first, and then use that as a last case scenario. So yeah, I'm not a doctor, and the things I'm going to share with you guys today are not intended to treat or cure or diagnose anything, but they are just a natural health tool that are very effective to help support a natural wellness, healthy lifestyle. Okay, so yeah, so like with medication, even things that are over the counter, you can just, if you ever actually read the back of it and see the potential list of side effects, or if you ever see those scary ads on TV, it's for a new drug, and then they show a happy person playing in the field, and then they list a billion potential negative side effects. So the thing with essential oils is that there are no side effects. And in fact, the opposite is true. There's actually side benefits, because essential oils have physical and emotional benefits too. So that's one reason why people are looking to them. And just to say, I just said that I'm not a doctor, but the people at doTERRA who are making these oils are, right? So there's they have PhD level chemists and doctors and people who really know this stuff. And actually this year in the States, doTERRA is opening clinics, like medical clinics, working with, so it's kind of like a fusion of Eastern and Western medication, so that they have doctors and essential oils. So it's a really safe way to look at some of your basic healthcare needs, or even potentially some of your more complex healthcare needs. Okay, so they're safer because there's no side effects, right? Only side benefits. As with all things, you gotta just use common sense. It's really that simple, because shampoo, if you just drink the whole thing, that's probably not great for you, right? So as with anything that's in your home, you're just going to use them as directed. So the safety things are basically, don't put them in your eyes, don't put them inside your ears or inside your nose or any sensitive areas. And then you'll see when you get the oils, you really only get a couple drops at a time, because that's really all you need. And the reason why you only need that much is because they're so pure and potent and effective. And we'll talk about that in a minute, but you only really need a little bit. So just a couple drops. And the other thing is that you can use them throughout the day, right? Okay, so it doesn't really build up in your system like Western medication. It kind of, your body knows what to do with it. So if you're using them topically, you can even use them as frequently as every hour. It's always better and more effective to use less more often. So that's why you just need a drop or even less. And then to prevent any skin sensitivity, we always suggest diluting with a carrier oil. So that just means that lavender, many of the oils are safe to use on your skin without any skin irritation. But when you dilute it with a different oil, it won't work to dilute with water, because oil and water don't mix. So, any other carrier oil like almond oil or olive oil, we usually suggest liquid coconut oil. It's called fractionated coconut oil. That just means it's liquid all the time, even when it's cold. And it's just odorless, colorless, great for your skin, and easily absorbed. So that's usually what we recommend. And so when you dilute with a carrier oil and apply to the skin, it actually helps it get absorbed quicker, because the essential oil aromatic compounds are quite volatile, so they can actually kind of diffuse off your skin, which is great because then you can inhale them through your nose. But then it actually doesn't get into the skin as well as if you use a carrier oil. So that's a great way to make your oils last longer and be more effective. Right. So that's just what we mean by topical and dilution. And then the thing is, you just want to dilute more for kids. So I love that I can use the same things on me that I would on my kids. I have a baby, a 10-month-old baby, and a 3-year-old toddler, both boys. And I just love that I can use the same thing on me as I can on them, just more diluted. That just makes sense to me. So yeah, and they are safe to use on children and so you just want to follow the dilution rate, and like when in doubt, always just ask the person, ask me, ask whoever has introduced you to essential oils, to give you any safety guidelines on using with children. Okay, so they are safe, and I feel a lot safer using essential oils on my children than I do other things that you might be able to purchase at Shoppers Drug Mart. I mean, for example, like, you know, if you're going to buy something for a headache, you know, there's going to be one active ingredient in there, and then a bunch of like synthetics and fillers and all that kind of stuff. With essential oils, there's only one ingredient. It is the pure essential oil. But even within that, there might even be more. There's one ingredient, but they might have more active components. So lavender essential oil, for example, has over 200 active components, which is why lavender is good for so many different things. Some other oils may have less and might only have a couple of uses, but lavender is one of those Swiss Army knife oils that's great to have on hand for anything. Okay, so that's how they're safer. Number two, the cheaper. Sorry, the cheaper. You probably didn't expect me to say that, right? Because you were thinking that you know, anything you buy at Shoppers might be more cost effective. But here's how it works. Like when you get a bottle, there's 250 drops in there. Okay, so that's like the best part of a year if you're using a drop a day. So I'm just going to use Zengest as an example. So Zengest is a blend of oils to help soothe digestion. Okay, so it's got peppermint, ginger, caraway, fennel, a couple of other things in there. They're all great for soothing digestion. So my friend has been, you know, he has really bad heartburn. So what he was getting from the store worked out to be $3.50 per pill. And like he was having, he had some, you know, different kind of issues that meant that he had severe chronic heartburn from a different medical condition, and he was going to need to take 2 a day. And so that was a lot, right? It adds up. That's like $6 a day. And so, but with Zengest, it works out to be just 15 cents a drop, right? But here's the thing, like, I don't really get heartburn. I did when I was pregnant, and that was a lifesaver, Zengest when I was pregnant. But you might think, oh, why on earth do they need 250 things, 250 occasions for heartburn? But the thing is that it's so versatile, because Zengest is good for any digestive issues. So and if you are bloated, if you have trouble going to the bathroom too much or not enough, if anyone has a tummy ache or upset stomach from anything, if you ate too much at Thanksgiving, if you ate something that you kind of have a bit of a food intolerance to and you accidentally ate it when you shouldn't have, and you're going to have some digestive upset, then this is a great blend for all of those things. So, I mean, if anyone in your house has ever had a tummy issue, then this is a great one to have on hand, because it covers a myriad of things. The other thing is that it doesn't go bad, right? There's no expiry. As long as the oils are stored appropriately, and by that we just mean not in direct heat, not in direct sunlight, no extreme temperatures, then it's good. It doesn't expire. So I actually, I think I still have some in my Zengest bottle that I bought over a year ago, because in our house we haven't had too many tummy upsets, and I still have some left, and I'm not worried about it going bad. So so that's how it can be more cost effective, because like I said, that was only 15 cents a drop, whereas, you know, Shoppers, you have to buy obviously the whole packet of heartburn tablets. It turned out to be $3.50 per pill, and then on top of that you can only ever use it for heartburn, right? I only had the one use. Okay, so that's how the oils can be more cost effective. Okay, and so the third main point, so safer, more cost effective, and then more effective, like in your body. So Western medication is water-based, okay? So if we have a cell, this is your cell in your body, the outer membrane, going back to like high school biology here, the outer membrane is oil-based, right? And so water and oil can't mix, right? That just makes sense. So the water-soluble, water-based Western medication can't actually penetrate the cell because it's oil-based. So bacteria kind of lives outside of the cell. Viruses inside the cell. So for viral infections, there's not as much that can be done, right? The doctor, like for a cold, your doctor is going to tell you to just go home and let it run its course, okay? But essential oils are clearly oil-based, but what that means is that they can travel through your body and your blood, but they can also penetrate the cell. So if there's an issue inside the cell, the essential oils can actually penetrate through the cell and help to neutralize the issue there. And they also act as messengers, so they can carry messages from cell to cell to cell so that it gets to where it needs to go. So that's how they can be more effective. And once again, I just want to say that, like, we're not anti-doctors, we're not anti-medication, and these are just a natural health tool. And I can tell you stories of how they've helped my friends. But I just, always use your common sense. And if you break your leg, please don't reach for your lavender oil. Please call 911 and go to the hospital. I don't want people to read into what I'm saying here and think I'm saying something different. Okay, so that is how they are safer and they are cheaper, and how they are more effective to use in your body. Okay, so what else do we need to talk about? Let's go back to safety again, because that's really the biggest issue that most people have when you hear about essential oils. It's worth mentioning that essential oils, like that word, isn't really regulated. So I could go into my kitchen, pour some olive oil, put one lavender flower in it, and then steep it in there, and then pull it out and put it in a dark bottle and say, I made lavender essential oil. And when I didn't, I just really got olive oil and just put a lavender leaf in it. That's not even a essential oil at all. It's just olive oil with a lavender leaf in. But the thing is, I can still say that that's 100% pure essential oil, because there's no regulations. There's no regulating body for essential oils. Anyone can say anything. So before I found doTERRA, I went to, goodness me, I went to the health food store and I picked up a bottle and it said 100% pure essential oil. So I'm like, great, there we go. I'm in the health food store. It says 100% pure. This must be the good stuff, right? But when I got home, and then when I was later introduced to doTERRA, smelling the Goodness Me peppermint next to the doTERRA peppermint, it just smelled like water. Like, you don't need to have a degree in science for your body to know the difference. And so there's a huge range of quality of oils out there. They're obviously becoming more popular. You've most likely heard of them already before you came to this webinar. And it's kind of just other companies kind of jumping on the bandwagon. Like, lots of different companies are starting to come out with their own brand of essential oils. But really, like, you want the best, right? Because you're going to be using them for your healthcare, like inside your bodies, and you want the best for that. And so this is the big difference. So you can use essential oils aromatically, so like in a diffuser, or you can put a drop in your hands and inhale them that way. So that's how I use it aromatically, which is actually the quickest way to affect your mood, like through the nose. Kind of skips the bypasses the thinking part of the brain, and can really have a quick effect on your mood that way. So you can use them aromatically, topically, like I mentioned before, just on your skin. And so a great way to do that is with a carrier oil or in a pre-made rollerball. You can purchase pre-made rollers from doTERRA, or a lot of people like to make their own blends. So for example, the Zengest blend for digestion, you can get that in a 10 ml roller. So you can just like roll that right on your tummy, right on your kid's tummy, right where it needs to go. But then internally, and this is the doTERRA difference, okay? I'm not going to tell you to take any other oils internally, only doTERRA, and only the ones that doTERRA say are safe to take internally, because a couple of them aren't, like wintergreen and deep blue. You don't want to be taking those internally. But this is the difference. Like, lemon essential oil, like lavender, peppermint, you can take all of those internally. There's like 80% of them you can take internally. And that's really important to me, because, if you can take doTERRA oils internally, but you can't take other essential oils internally, I want to know why. Like, why is the quality not there? What is different about that? And like I said, your nose will tell you. Like, and I've heard stories of, I had a friend who, she loves to smell peppermint. So she went to buy peppermint and went to diffuse it. And then she said, yeah, after a while, it just smelled like dead plants. I had another friend who bought some oils from somewhere else. And she was like, yeah, every time I diffused them, I felt nauseous and had a headache. And then she said anyone who came into her house said the same thing. So it wasn't just she was hypersensitive. It's just that when she was diffusing this, it gave people headache and nausea. And I'm like, that's terrible, and that sounds dangerous. That's not really what's going to happen with doTERRA oils, because they're so pure. I'm actually really sensitive to scents, because before doTERRA, I was cutting out synthetic fragrances and chemicals. And so it just meant that when I did smell them, I felt nauseous. But I don't feel that way with these oils because they're not synthetic. And so it doesn't give me that kind of sick feeling that I get if I smell someone's Axe or cologne or something that's synthetic. Yeah, and so the great thing is about doTERRA is that they have created that, like, because essential oils, the industry isn't standardized, it isn't regulated, they've made their own number of tests. And like, I know that sounds a bit weird. They're like, oh, we'll just make their own. That sounds rather convenient. But they had to, because there was no other way of showing and checking the quality and proving that their oils were any better than a $5 lavender that you find anywhere else, right? So that's why they had to do that. But the best part is that every single bottle of oil, let me just grab one. Okay, so every single bottle of oil is going to have a number code right on the bottom, okay? And so every single liter of essential oil, doTERRA essential oil, gets tested. So other companies might test, every 100 liters or every 1,000 liters and hope that everything in the middle is the same. But that's really not a very accurate way to test the quality. So doTERRA's testing just goes above and beyond. And they test every single liter of oil to check that there's no fillers, no pesticides, nothing that it's not supposed to be there. Check that it's the most potent that it can be. And so it goes through a number of tests through doTERRA and through a third party. It actually goes through the third party testing twice. Okay, so that's how you can be absolutely sure of what is in your bottle. And then of all those tests that I just said, you can put in this number, this code, in a website called Source to You, and it will show you the results to those tests. Like, no other company is going to give you that kind of transparency. And so if I do that, it's not going to tell me the test results for On Guard. It's going to tell me the test results of this On Guard that's in my hand right now. So that's an incredible resource that they have available to you, because if these are going into your body, you need to know what's in them. Just plain and simple as that. If you're going to be using these on your kids, you need to know that you need to feel confident that these are pure and safe. So where do these oils come from? They come from leaves and plants and flowers and roots and barks of plants. And so what doTERRA do is they go all around the world to get the best plants, because the best oil obviously starts with the best plant. I mean, if I try and grow a lemon here, it might be able to grow. I'm not very good at growing. I'm not very good at gardening. But even if I did get it to grow, it wouldn't be very lemony. It wouldn't be as great as a lemon from where it's supposed to come from. So doTERRA source their lemons from Italy. Okay, so that's where the best lemons in the world go. So instead of trying to make it themselves and making frozen crappy lemons in their backyard, they go to where the best lemons in the world are, and then they work with the local producers there, the local farmers, to set up a way to do that. And it's great because they get to go all over the world. They work in a lot of impoverished areas. And it's amazing because then they get to help the people there. So there's no middlemen. So doTERRA go in and work directly with the local farmers and help them. And so it creates the best product for us because we're getting the best plant source. But also it means, and it's the most effective as well, because it's not diluted. Like, the plants there have grown up in the right pH, the right soil environment, the right nutrients, everything to be the best plant. Because when the plant defends itself, that's how the oil gets its potency, because the oil is kind of like the blood to the plant, and it helps it defend against environmental threats. And you're only going to get that potency if it's been in the right environment. So anyway, so they get to go and help in these areas. So, for example, in Haiti, this is where we source our vetiver oil from. They were able to go and create over 800 jobs. And after the hurricanes and storms in Haiti, it was amazing to be able to help do that. But also they were having to walk 2 hours a day for water. So they go and they help them. They build a well, and then if they need schools, they'll build a school. If they need medical facilities, they'll build a hospital. And all these things to make sure that the people there have a safe work environment that's sustainable for the economy, growing the economy of the company, of the country, the economy of the country, and really helping the families that work there. Because farming, as you can imagine, is seasonal, and so we make sure that there's a fair, sustainable wage for these people year round, so that they're not being taken advantage of. Okay, so for example, this here, frankincense. Frankincense is from trees. and it's from the resin. So it's a bit like maple tapping. So, and these trees take over 100 years to mature, right? So you have to be really thinking ahead and really, really sustainable when you're looking at how this industry is going to continue. So these trees take over 100 years to mature. You have to go and score them and then come back a couple of days later once the resin's leaked out and hardened, and then collect the resin. But if you score the tree too much, it's going to just kill the tree, right? So you want to be respectful to the tree, obviously, to ensure sustainable farming and sustainable economy for the people there. So if you score the tree too much, it's going to kill the tree. So this whole year, the frankincense trees are taking a rest. Like we're not going to be scoring the trees this year because we're giving them a break this year to let them recover so that we can just be respectful of how we treat these trees. And so as you can imagine, you probably might not want to take a whole year of work without getting paid. So doTERRA's made sure that they are taking care of the economy and the workers during this year so that they're still able to do this, because otherwise they would have to move on and get other jobs. So this way we're able to really take care of the communities that are helping provide plants to give us the best oils. And again, you're not really going to see that in other oil companies. The kind of, just kind of not going to be able to give you that amount of certainty of knowing where your oils came from, who's grown them, how they are treated, financially and economically in these times. So that's why people choose doTERRA, right? Because you can be sure of the quality of the bottle, of the oil in the bottle, and you can be sure that they're sourced in a fair, sustainable, wonderful, socially responsible way. Okay, so I think that covers most of what we wanted to talk about with essential oils and safety. So if you have any more safety questions, let me know. But I think we covered the bulk of it just for now. So now I'm going to move on to talk about back to school. So my husband is a teacher. He is a supply teacher. So I'm going to ask you guys a question and see if you know the answer. What is the number one factor when it comes to children's learning? Think that for a second. What's the number one factor in helping your child learn? It's hard to say because obviously there are lots of factors, like, the teacher and the environment and the other kids and all that kind of stuff. And so you might be thinking, is it public school or private school? Is it teacher to student ratio? Like, what is this factor? But actually the number one factor in student learning and their ability to learn is safety, feeling safe. And that makes sense, right? Because if you don't feel safe, if you don't feel safe in your environment, then you're not going to care what the square root of X is. Okay, but I just bring that up to mention that what can happen at this time of year before we go back to school for kids and for adults and definitely for teachers is, this kind of like butterfly feelings, there's kind of anxious feelings of like, oh, back to school, oh no, back to school. And, especially, for kids going to a different daycare, going to kindergarten for the first time, maybe jumping to high school, maybe you've moved cities over the summer and they're going to a school where they're going to be the new kids. They most likely have a new teacher. They might have changed classrooms and might not be with their friends anymore. So there's going to be some of those unsettled feelings. And then on top of like that not being fun, it actually does have an effect on their learning. So it's really important to address the emotional needs as well as the physical needs. So so we have some essential oils that can help with these things. I would love to invite you to do your own research on the effects of things. But lavender, there's been thousands of studies about lavender's essential oil effectiveness for anxious feelings as well as calming. So lavender is a great one, but also vetiver, which I mentioned before. That's a great oil to apply just the back of your neck or your child's neck to help with grounding. Anything with roots, like vetiver, it kind of smells a bit like dirt, and because it is from it is from the roots of the vetiver bush. And so any of the things with roots, like trees, are going to have very grounding properties. So vetiver, balance, and serenity, those are two blends that are wonderful for grounding and calming and rest. So those are things that you could think to apply to you or your child at least 3 days before an event, before a transition, just to help with calming and grounding. I would suggest at least 3 or 4 days before an event, but also, it's something that a lot of people choose to do every day. I personally use vetiver and balance every day. I have I need a rollable. And I put, I think about 30 drops total of balance and vetiver, and the rest is just liquid coconut oil, that fractionated coconut oil we talked about earlier. And then I just apply that to the back of my neck. So that's really great for grounding. Vetiver in particular actually helps the mind to to calm a bit. So it's not going to like put you to sleep, but people find that because it helps calm the racing thoughts in your mind, it can be helpful for anxious feelings. It can be helpful for sleep too, because it's going to help calm your mind down, but also for focus as well. So it doesn't make you sleepy. It kind of helps to just clear your mind. So it's a great one to use to help when you're focusing as well. So that's a great one to use for your kids. So that's Balance and Vetiver and Serenity and Lavender. Those are all wonderful for grounding and calming. Okay, and then some other things that might come up around the back to school time. Immune system. Okay, this is a big one. Like, how many moms have you met that's like, oh, first day back at school and we're already sick? So again, this is something you want to start thinking about now before you're exposed to that. There are a number of different factors involved in your immune response. Obviously, diet is a big one. Sugar has a huge impact. And then also the season change, like the temperature change. And then obviously being around other people in different environments where you're exposed to things that you might not have been exposed to. So there's a number of things to help with immunity, but On Guard is really, really something that every single home has to have. It is so crucial. This is our protective blend, and it's got a number of different oils in there. It's a blend all to help support your immune response, okay? So you can diffuse this, and it's going to help take care of some pathogens in the air, and also you can inhale it, and it's going to help give you that immune boost. And you can also use it topically. I have a roller that I love to put up and down my kid's spine or on the feet. Up and down the spine is a really effective area because that's where viral infections tend to hang out. So, and this is something you can use every single day proactively before, like preventatively. So when it gets colder, we definitely do that to every member of the family every day. And I just have I have one for me and my husband, and then I have smaller ones for the kids with a different dilution that's suitable for them. So that's something you can do to help support immune systems every day. And then the other thing is looking at your gut, right? I was talking about this with someone else today. The gut health has a huge effect on everything, on your overall health, on your emotional health, on your mental health, on your immune response. A lot of your serotonin is in your gut. So, taking care of your gut is really going to give you huge benefits everywhere. And so I was talking about probiotics today because if you've ever been in a situation where you've needed to take antibiotics, it's going to kill bad stuff, but it also kills the good stuff. And it can actually take your gut up to a year to replenish it to get back to that level again. So if you are someone who's been on antibiotics every year, you might not even get your body a chance to ever recover. So if you have been on antibiotics, you definitely need probiotics, but they're also good to do, even if you haven't been on antibiotics. So we're talking about back to school. So we do have adult ones, but I'm just going to mention the kid ones right now because they taste delicious. So there's no sugar in them. It's actually xylitol, which is the healthiest sugar substitute. And so a 4-year-old can take this whole thing. If it's under 4, so like my 3-year-old takes half of this. It tastes like Pixie Sticks, so you can just like down it in your mouth, or you can add it to a smoothie. So it's a really effective way, and you can just put them in your lunchbox, right? Send this packet with your kids' lunch to send them to school with this. And it's a really delicious, great way to every day support that healthy gut bacteria that's going to help with your entire gut health and specifically immune response as well, and emotional response. Okay, so you really want to make sure that you're addressing the nutritional needs of your child and yourself before you're looking at anything else, because that's a building block for everything, right? You are what you eat. Okay, so moving on with other kid stuff. A to Z chewable. So these are the kids' vitamins. It's a kids' multivitamin. It's not a gummy. It's a chewable. Luckily, my toddler loves these, and so I use this as a treat if I need to bribe him for something, which of course happens every day. So every day I give my 3-year-old half of one of these, and then also the IQ Mega. So as the IQ might suggest, this is good for your brain. So this is all of the the omega oils that you need, which we know is fantastic for brain health, but also for skin health and overall health, but definitely great for growing brains. So this is a really important thing. So if you're going to be using On Guard and using these, you're really going to be giving your kids the best chance to be in a good environment to learn, because they're going to have their physical needs met, their nutritional needs met, getting all the vitamins that they need in their growing bodies and growing minds. So these are great things to have all year round, but I think that back to school season is definitely a time to make sure you don't forget them. We have amazing supplements for adults too, but I'm just going to be talking about the kids stuff now because I'm trying to keep this short for you guys. Okay, so we covered some anxious feelings. We covered some immune response. Another thing to do with that is cleaning. So sometimes people call it reducing your toxic load. So if you are using things you may not think about, but in your skincare and your air freshener and your cleaning products, if you look at some of the effects of some of the ingredients in there, you are not going to be happy. You're going to be very scared if you start to Google some of the ingredients and what the potential risks are with that. And you may not notice because it's they might start slow with kind of respiratory issues or skin issues. But either way, whether you have symptoms from that or not, they're not good to be around. But what's great about essential oils is, again, there's they're safer, and they work out to be so much cheaper. You can just make your own air freshener and your own cleaner with just a few drops of a number of different oils that are great for cleaning. Again, On Guard is great for cleaning. Lemon, lavender, peppermint, eucalyptus, rosemary, wild orange. So many of the oils have powerful cleansing benefits. And again, they're just, like 10 to 20 cents per drop. So you can put like 10 drops in a spray bottle with some water and use that as an all-purpose cleaner, right? This is really, it's safer, it's cheaper, it's like there's no reason not to do it, and it smells better too. So that's a great thing to do. And I have a 10.5-month-old baby, so of course he's crawling everywhere, putting everything in his mouth. So I love to know that I'm cleaning with something that's safe, because if you clean your kitchen floor with bleach and it dries, but then the baby is going to have some bleach residue and put that in their mouth, and that's not what you want to do. So it's really great to know that I'm being very effective at killing germs, but also knowing that these are safe enough for my baby to then touch. I'm not suggesting you give your baby a cleaner to spray in their mouth. I'm just saying it's not going to have any of the dangerous side effects that you're going to find in some of the commercial cleaners. And it's going to be so much cheaper. And don't say making yourself too hard. It's 10 drops, water, spray, you're done. It's quicker than going to the store to get something. Okay, so then a couple more issues and then we're done. I'm just going to talk about, I'll get to focusing and supporting your brain in a little bit, but I'm just going to go over sleep quickly. Because again, when you look at immune response and your whole body health, it has many factors, right? You can't just say oh, this one drop of this or this magic pill is going to make me perfectly healthy. You really want to make sure that you're taking care of yourself and giving your body what it needs, what it's designed for. So sleep is something that can get disrupted when you have those anxious feelings. So again, vetiver and lavender are wonderful to use to help support a nice, restful night's sleep. But it's really important to get those hours that you need, because then that's how the body resets, right? And so when you're run down, that's when you're more likely to get sick. So making sure that you and your kids have adequate sleep is going to mean that you're far less likely to be susceptible to any of the other kind of sicknesses that are going on around you. So sleep, supporting sleep, you can use the same oils that we use for grounding and calming. So lavender, vetiver, serenity is a great one. Serenity is the restful blend, so that's very effective. And then balance again. So you're already going to have those oils anyway to help for calming and grounding and for transition and anxious feelings. So it's great to have them for supporting your sleep as well. It's great to just put a diffuser on half an hour before bedtime in the kids' room or your room, both. And then they can breathe that in and get that support while they're sleeping. So for kids' bedroom, I just use 1 drop, maybe 1 or 2 drops. For our bedroom, I might do 3 or 4. Okay, so it's a great way to just get those benefits, breathe them in all night long. You can diffuse those to help you sleep. You can diffuse On Guard to help support immune system. So that's great ways to just so easily to support your family's health. Okay, lice. Let's talk about lice. I'm very, very thankful and fortunate that I haven't had to deal with this issue. But from what I gather from talking to other parents, I hear it's no fun at all. No fun at all to deal with that. So lice. So again, in the same way with a natural cleaner or a natural air freshener, you can use tea tree and peppermint in a spray bottle and just spray that on your kid's hair to help prevent and deter lice. So I know someone that has been through this and be oh my goodness, I never want to deal with this again. It's so difficult, so not fun. But every single day they just spray their kids as they're walking out the door. So that, they don't wait till they get lice, they just do it every day. There we go. And again, it's just 10 to 20 cents per drop, a few drops in a spray bottle, done. So easy. So don't say that using essential oils is hard, because it's not. So lice, sleep, anxiety, immune function. Okay, and then the last thing is focus, right? You want your kids to be able to, be able to have the attention span to be able to learn, to be able to take in what the teacher is so lovingly preparing to teach them. So we already talked about the vitamins and the supplements that you need to healthy brain. But then on top of that, we have some extra oils that can help with focus. So rosemary is fantastic for helping support memory, as well as peppermint can help kind of help you to waken up and make you feel refreshed. So diffusing rosemary and peppermint together is a wonderful thing to do when you're studying or you've got a test coming up, when you're doing homework. And then also another blend called Intune. So this is a 10 ml roller, and it's called the Focus Blend. So it's really going to help support you to focus. So this is a great thing to do. You can just roll it on the back of your neck. If you're not a fan of the smell, you can just roll it on the bottoms of your feet. I know that sounds weird, but it still gets to every cell in your body when you do that. It's a great oil to send your kids to school with. And depending on the age of the kids, or if they feel comfortable, if they don't feel comfortable with a roller at school and they feel embarrassed putting it on the back of their neck, a lot of kids are going to be doing it this year. But if that's not something you want to do, we also have, you can just get an inhaler, like a little nasal inhaler. I have a couple, they're like a couple bucks. And then you can get the wick inside, put a few drops of it on there, and then you can just smell it. And it sounds weird, especially if you say, like, go to the bathroom and inhale something. But you can be sure that it's natural and safe. So it is a roller, but you can pull the top off, get a couple drops and put it there. Send it in your kids' backpack to school to help support their focus. And I know a lot of people, again, these oils aren't designed to diagnose or treat or cure anything, but I do know stories of people who have been, have attention issues, and like quite severe attention issues, to the point where they're always getting kicked out of class and they weren't able to focus. And you can imagine the teachers and the parents are getting frustrated because they're like, I don't know what to do to help you. I'm doing everything I can, but if it's, the teacher has to kick you out because you're disrupting the rest of the class. And then you can imagine as well the effects on the emotional health of the child and the family, being like, oh, I just love you, but I'm not sure how I can best support you. And then, they've started to try using Intune and vetiver, and they started to use these oils to help support them to focus, as well as looking at the diet and taking care of some of those nutritional needs as well. And using these oils to help them focus, and then suddenly they're not getting kicked out of class anymore. And the teacher's like, what are you doing? What's changed? So these oils are incredibly powerful, and they're going to be, you're going to see the best effects when you use them constantly, right? When you use consistent use. So like, at least 2 weeks of using like 3 times a day, and then see where you're at. So I don't want you to take, 1 drop of vetiver or like 1 use of Intune and no, I don't feel any different. You've got to give them a chance, give them consistent use over a couple of weeks, and then see where you're at, see how, the focus has improved, or the attention span has improved. So if you are someone who is dealing with this, or know someone who's dealing with any attention issues, whether it's ADHD or something in that realm, I would love to give you more information on that, because it's not something that I personally have walked through, but I have a webinar that's very informative in this area that I would love to share with you to help, just to help you. I'd love to connect you with someone who knows a lot more about it than me, and they have a wonderful story about it. So those are some things that we can do to help support our anxious feelings, those nervous back to school feelings, our immune system, because we all know that, if one person gets sick in the family, then it can spread through everyone else. So using On Guard to support our immune system, as well as looking at our gut health with the probiotics and supplements, is a great way to keep everyone healthy. And I'm just going to close with this. My husband, as I said, is a teacher. He's a supply teacher. So not only is he around a number of schools and children, he's also in different schools, so he's exposed to more than the average teacher, and also often covering for a sick teacher. So he's sitting at the desk that a sick teacher has been at. So he's exposed to a lot. And since using the Lifelong Vitality Pack, actually, which is I mentioned the kids supplements, but the Lifelong Vitality is the adult supplements. Since using those, he's noticed that he's far less likely to get sick, or if he does, it lasts for a way shorter time. Like he'll bounce back after a day instead of being knocked out for a week, and which is obviously way better for everyone, but also because as a supply teacher, if he misses a day of work, he doesn't get paid, right? So it's really, really fantastic to know that we have these tools to help support health, because it has a knock-on effect. It's not just like, oh, you're not sick. It's like, great, we don't lose income from that. Great, you're not in bed for a week and leaving me with extra work to deal with 2 kids by myself for 2 weeks. So it really is important to look at the knock-on effect of having great health, because it really does benefit everyone very, very much. So a lot of you guys watching this might already have some oils in your home. For those of you who don't, I'm just going to spend 2 minutes telling you how you can get them, and then we're done. Okay. So there's 3 ways that you can get doTERRA oils. You can purchase retail. This is the least cost-effective way, but if you're just going to get 1 bottle, then retail will be your best bet. Most people, like hardly anyone, like only like 2% of people buy that way because it's not the most cost-effective. The other way is to get a wholesale membership, and this works just like Costco, except you don't need to buy huge amounts to make the membership worthwhile. So it's kind of like Costco, but kind of not. If you're gonna, so what happens is if you get a membership, and that's $42 for the year, that means that you get everything for 25% below retail, right? So you get everything a lot cheaper. So for just $42, you can buy everything for 25% cheaper. So if you're gonna get 2 things from doTERRA or more in the next year, then a wholesale membership is gonna save you money, okay? And yeah, a membership is just going to give you cheaper prices. It doesn't commit you to anything else. So don't be like scared off by the word membership. Again, it's just like Costco. You can go shop every day or can shop never. It doesn't make a difference. It just gives you cheaper prices whenever you do choose to shop. And then the third way, that's the second way. The third way is with a kit. And basically, if you're not sure where to start, but this sounds great, you want to be natural and healthy and support your family in this way, but you're not sure what to do, kits are great because they put together the most commonly used oils, right? So if you get, like, a lot of the kits have the top 10 oils in, and you can get that in 5 ml, top 10 in 5 ml, or top 10 in 15 ml with a diffuser. So that's how I started. I got the top 10 oils in 15 ml with a diffuser, and that already comes with a free membership. So right off the bat, you're saving $42. And then actually when you get a kit, they often come with a bulk discount, because so I started with the Home Essentials kit. That's $330. And it means that if you do the math, looking at the wholesale prices of the top 10 oils, they all end up being cheaper than wholesale price, they're below wholesale price, and the diffuser ends up being free. So it's a really great way to do that. And then if you wanted to do the kit, the top 10, the smaller top 10 kit, so the top 10 oils with 5 ml bottles instead of 15 ml bottles, that's I think about $185. So and it doesn't come with a diffuser, but it's a great way to get like a little sample of all the top 10 oils. And with the top 10, you know, you may think these are things that you're not going to know how to use, but that's what my job is, right? Like, we don't want you to have these oils and not know what to do with them. It is my job to educate you on how to use these oils to support your home and your family. So with the top 10 oils, you can basically make over your cleaning cabinet, and you can make over your medicine cabinet. Like, those can help with the most common things that come up. So I'm just going to quickly run through the top 10 so you know what's in it. So there's lavender, lemon, peppermint, tea tree. So that's the one for lights, right? And peppermint was the one that can help with focus. Lavender for calming and sleep. Lemon for cleansing. A lot of people like to add a drop to their water every day. Also great if you're, you know, if you've got a sore throat or something, you can make like a lemon tea honey. What else is there? There's oregano. This is a powerhouse when you actually are sick. If you're feeling that your body is fighting something, get some oregano on you. It is incredibly powerful. That's one that you don't want to use without dilution because it's pretty spicy. You'll get some skin irritation. So you just dilute it, put it on the bottoms of your feet, or you can actually take it internally in a veggie cap. So you buy these empty veggie caps, put some oregano in, and then swallow it like a pill that way, and then you don't even have to taste it. On Guard, so this is the blend that I mentioned, really supportive for immune boosting. There's Zengest, I mentioned that at the beginning, for any digestive issues. Easy Air, so that's a blend for all the oils to help support open airways and respiration. So it's great to use before a workout, or to diffuse it nice to keep your airways open. It might help for a quieter night if someone has noisy sleeping habits. You might be able to use that to help in that area. And also if anyone feels kind of congested or anything like that, stuff that's going to be a really good oil. Deep Blue, which is a blend of oils. This one you can't take internally, but it's a blend of all the oils to help with kind of aches and pains. So if you have any muscle aches or back aches or joint aches, this can be a very, very soothing blend for that. And then the last one is frankincense. So I shared the story about the frankincense trees. This is an incredible oil for a multitude of things. It can be used for grounding as well. grounding and focus. We've already talked about those things for back to school, as well as immune support. So this is a really fantastic all-round oil to use. You can also add it. It's fantastic for skincare. When I was pregnant, I used it for my belly button to help prevent and treat stretch marks. I got one teeny tiny stretch mark, and now it's kind of disappeared with using frankincense and Immortelle, which is the anti-aging blend. So those are the top 10 oils, and that's how most people start. So those are the kits. And so I would really just invite you to just take a moment and just think about the top health concerns in your family. I mean, it might be that, one kid is just really susceptible to like ear issues and it happens every year. Or it could be that, you want some emotional support. Like that's really how I love to use oils. I use them for those anxious kind of nervous feelings. And again, I love the balance and vetiver for that. Or digestive health. Like Zengest is a common one that a lot of people are having upset tummies, and they just love to have this natural solution on hand. Again, that's very, very cost effective. So I would love to help you guys be healthy and natural and, reduce your toxic load. So please just reach out to me. I am offering 50% off of the membership fee for teachers. Okay, so for any teachers, any daycare workers, or any ECE workers, because honestly, my goal in this is just to get as many teachers on guard as possible. That's why I came up with this promotion, because I really want to help you, because you guys are on the front line. You're like with these kids. I mean, especially kindergarten, you're with so many kids and they're with so many germs. So I would really love to do that. Another thing to mention with teachers is, always check with your school and your principal and your school board, because I don't want to get anyone in trouble. But if you are able to have a diffuser in your classroom, that would be a wonderful way to support the children that you're teaching there. So you can, again, support their immune function with On Guard. You can support calming if everyone's really hyper with a couple drops of lavender. And again, you can support focus if you want to, like a really intense study time. You can add that rosemary and peppermint there. So that would be a wonderful way to support the kids, obviously, if that's clear with your school. And secondly, if you are a teacher in the Peel board, I know that the lifestyle benefits that are available to you guys actually do cover doTERRA. So that's something that you can get to benefit you and your kids and your school kids, and then you'll get reimbursed for that. So that's a wonderful thing. And also, if you're not with the Peel school board, it's becoming more popular now, so just check. It's worth checking with your insurance provider to see if these wonderful health tools are actually covered, and then that's something that we can help you guys with. Okay, so shoot me a message, shoot me a text, call me on the phone, and I would love to help you get some of these oils. And depending on what you want and need, I'm going to help you get them at the best price. So if you just want one bottle of oil, retail will save you money. If you want 2 or more, then you're going to need a membership or a kit, and the kit again comes with the free membership. Even if you go with a kit that comes with a free membership, I'm still going to reimburse you for the equivalent of half of your membership, because that's the deal that I'm offering to all teachers, ECEs, and daycare workers, and that deal is on until the end of this month, so a short time. So if you know anyone who is a teacher or would like this deal, then let me know, and I would love to help give you some oils and then reimburse your membership. Okay. So have a great day, and I hope you guys are feeling happy and ready for back to school, and I hope you guys don't get hit with the back to school sickness that a lot of people get. Okay, have a great day. Bye.